My name is George Vidal, and this is my journey video at Berklee Valencia for the master's degree in music production, technology, and innovation. I started to play piano at the age of 11, studying classical music. When I was 14, my parents bought me an audio interface and a mic that I still have to this day. And in fact, it came with Ableton Lite 6. I actually produced my first CD called One at the age of 14, which was a collection of classical music interpretations by me. The problem was that I was always a pretty big nerd and was good at academics and was also involved in sports like swimming. Therefore, I decided that I would study a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, but realized my freshman year that I actually really wanted to go into music. So I decided that upon graduation, I would apply to Berklee College of Music. Meanwhile, I started a YouTube channel to build my portfolio up for Berklee. I uploaded my first video on June 4th, 2016, and then I made more, and more, and more, and more. And today I have 13,000 subscribers and over 2 million video views. Finally, with a decent portfolio, I applied in November of 2018 to Berklee and got accepted on Christmas Eve of that same year. Fast forward to September and I moved to Valencia, Spain. Got there just in time for orientation and began to meet all my truly amazing classmates and professors. I enrolled in classes such as DJing and turntablism with Nacho, where I learned the basics and foundations of DJing. I also had hybrid recording with Liz, where I learned the ins and outs of the studio and a lot of audio theory. Then I also had seminar and production ensemble with Pablo that included a wide variety of topics such as being a producer, studio etiquette, budgets, and of course working with the amazing Carolina Arauz. We also had electronic production with Alicia, learning about Ableton, live looping, and controllers. In addition, we had Devin for live video production, where we learned all about projection mapping. We also had Pablo Schuler for the Pro Tools Proficiency class, where we learned how to effectively and efficiently use Pro Tools. And lastly, we had Piers for nonlinear structures, where we learned about Max and experimental music. In addition to the classes, I also had the chance to produce a few collaborations with some amazing people, such as an Ed Sheeran mashup with Saren, Joey, and Calder, Lose You to Love Me with Saren, DJ, and Cole, and Frozen's Into the Unknown with Lisa, Whitlin, Saren, Jorge, Joey, Connor, Destiny, Kieran, DJ, and Karateke. And the Christmas song with Saren, Daniel Prophet, and Giorgio. Come spring 2020, we hit the ground running. We had a bunch of new classes such as Advanced Studio Mixing with Danny, where we learned all about mixing from compression, EQ, to effects like reverb and delay. Then we had Analog Synthesis with Nacho, where we learned how to use analog synth racks and different types of synthesis. Then we had Seminar and Production Ensemble again with Pablo, continuing a wide variety of topics, such as vocal production and behind the scenes into post-production. Then we had Sound Design with Alicia, learning how to craft our own sounds from scratch, and Analog Audio Proficiency with Ito. I also produced 2 new videos at the start of the semester, one of them being Adore You with Gavin, Delia, Lavender, Bailey, Farron, DJ, and Karateke, and the other one being Anyone with Farron, Giorgio, and DJ. Now for the Culminating Experience, or CE. I decided that I was going to make a visual EP for my CE. I knew this was going to be a very challenging project because I have never songwritten before, and this was going to be a great way to challenge myself to do so. I even attended the songwriting camp outside of Cuenca, where I started collaborating with Gillian Harwin writing songs. Now, as soon as I laid basics for my first song, Roaring Twenties, the world shut down. We all know what happened. COVID-19 pandemic came and halted everything. Studios were closed, friends relocated, and quarantine imposed worldwide. It was hard to stay motivated in isolation, and after 49 days, I decided to move back home from Spain. Getting home, I set up my home studio and continued to work on my EP. Now, since the whole original plan to make a visual story EP throughout Valencia, filmed by a DJ, had to be scrapped, I decided to make different types of lyric videos instead, using Adobe After Effects and Adobe Premiere Pro. Another change in my EP was that it was originally going to be recorded using live instruments in the studio, but of course that had to change as well. Therefore, I decided to produce Roaring Twenties using Pro Tools and having my friends send me their parts such as saxophone, drums, trumpets, and the backup vocals for the chorus. Apocalypse was produced using Ableton Live and incorporating more sound design, and Can't Escape the Music was made using Logic, taking advantage of the Logic Pro X instruments. Finally, before we continue, I want to take a moment to thank all my friends who went through this with me, and all my professors and family for their support. Now for the Mega Mix.
the rhythm in the night and day. The harmonies fill my brain. The light shines through after the rain. I can't hide even though I tried. From a calling deep inside, I can't resist the melodies that come to me in my dreams. Calling, singing, breathing the melodies. Calling, singing, breathing the frequencies. Calling, singing, breathing reality. I can't escape the music. A vision awoke to what seemed to be the sign of the time. Divided by thin walls, their restrictions won't confine me to my mind. And we all know why we can go to the sun and say hello. Self-overdose, voices in stereo. I miss the world I used to know. Someday we'll all be free. Someday we'll all